All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to another YouTube video from the TL Clubhouse. And this is Jonel Molina, the High School Services Director, right here at the Tenderloin Clubhouse. Today's topic I really want to talk about is community building, right? And a blueprint that we have here over at the Tenderloin Clubhouse in our community building, right? Which helps us to engage and connect with our youth and family. Alright, so we're going to take a look at who we are, right? The Boys and Girls Clubs of San Francisco. Boys and Girls Clubs of San Francisco inspires and enables all young people, especially those from disadvantaged circumstances, to realize their full potential as productive, responsible, and caring citizens. So we're going to take a look in the next slide how that comes to be, right, in terms of trying to build this community of productive, responsible, and caring citizens, right? Our young people are really our young leaders. All right. All right, so we're going to take a look at the 5 areas of positive youth development that we practice and apply as educators here in the Tenderloin House community, right? As mentors in the space, it's important that we incorporate these 5 principles and elements to ensure that our members are having a fun, are having a safe and engaging time. And so you just heard me say it, but first and foremost, number 1 is creating a safe and positive environment, especially in this COVID-19, and we do virtual programming. How are we reaching out to our members and their families to let them know that they will have a safe and positive time this summer with the staff holding space in the room during programming, right? How do we make sure that the members are respecting each other, right, and actually getting to know each other, right, and having really good energy throughout our programs from elementary to middle school to high school. Number 2 is generate fun and foster a sense of belonging. So our members come to our programming because there is a connection to our clubhouse in terms of our community, right? For those of our members that have experienced before COVID-19 and coming physically to the clubhouse, we leverage those relationships to make sure that we want them to be part of our virtual clubhouse now, right? Whether that's through call, text, if we see them in the neighborhood on the streets, letting them know that we are running programming. And it's fun too, right? From art to cooking, right? To name a few. For those that are really brand new to the space, we just want to let these new members and families know that we are a space in the community, right? Virtually, for them to access. And then know that we're trying to provide as much support and services and resources as much as possible during these tough times. Which goes to number 3, making sure that we encourage supportive relationships, right? From youth to our members, from us as staff to our families, right? From our youth to each other, right? We have a lot of teen interns this summer, and making sure that they see themselves as leaders in holding space and building this community that we all have, especially virtually, which is quite interesting, right? And it's been working, right, so far, which is great. We use our platform of Google Classroom, right, as a way to communicate and connect, right, these relationships with our youth through our question of the day, right, in elementary and middle school, but our question of the week through high school, and then working on replying to those threads or posts that our members took time to share with each other. And giving them feedback or asking for their thoughts as we go through programming each and every day. Right. Number 4 is providing opportunities and set expectations. Right. So opportunities for our members to continually build their skills, but also setting those expectations that it's going to take some work. It's okay to make a mistake. That it's okay to ask questions. Right. Sharing your goals. Right. Because you're still growing and developing as a leader, and having the integrity to be very honest of where you're at in your process, right? And so setting those expectations or boundaries in our programming is very helpful to our staff and members to make sure that there's a positive flow and energy throughout. And sometimes it even helps that our members kind of hold each other accountable as well, right? And then the last one is offer recognition and acknowledgement. Right. During our first day of summer programming on the 15th, we had our 8th and 12th grade Tenderloin Clubhouse graduation to recognize the graduating middle school and high school class of 2020. We did it all virtually, right? Normally we would do it all in person in-house, but we can't have that many people in the space, so we did a virtual presentation, recognized all our graduates. We also did superlatives, our end of the school year awards, right? Most funny, best dressed, right? Rising leaders, and our youth were able to kind of like celebrate each other. And even you had family members with our students, our members in the background, just like being very appreciative as well. Several of our graduates also shared what they got out of being a member at the clubhouse, right? And giving thanks in that way as well. In the summer, we are doing our Youth of the Week, right? Every week through the summer, and recognizing the impact that they've made, right? From elementary, middle school to high school. And then also just recognizing our members for showing up, right? Into our program each and every day. And for our teen interns, giving them the skills to kind of challenge themselves how to better organize their time and manage it, to also work on their communication with myself and other staff is very important. So all these 5 areas of positive youth development really help to bring out this vision that we have in the next slide for us, right? And so this is a picture over at the TL Clubhouse, and it has our vision statement, right? Which is to cultivate a thriving community with the support of caring adult allies. Through teaching and learning, we provide resources and opportunities to strengthen creativity, cultural competence, and health for each and every person every day. So we were doing that in person directly, and now we're working and shifting, or as they would say, pivoting virtually. How do we provide these kind of access, resources, and experiences now, right? Which we hopefully we're doing through our virtual programming and connecting. So as you can see, it's taking a whole community, right? From our elementary all the way to our high school members, and then staff and family members, to make sure that everyone feels connected and having a vision of how everyone's going to build with each other at the end of the day. And so that's the staff, right? These are current staff for the summer here at the TL Clubhouse. And so currently our aim is about serving 72 youth per day, right? Virtually, we've done some strategies in terms of doing pre-recordings for members, right? Through our regular programming between 11 and 12. And then our regular programming starts from 2 to 6 p.m. is our live programming through Google Meets, right? But it's the coordination of all the staff to make sure we uphold not only our Boys and Girls Club's vision, right? Our 5 areas of positive youth development, and then our TL vision statement. Having all these different layers and textures helps us to really build a community as leaders, as collaborative leaders. Right? And so we're looking at community building. So this is in person, right? Of course, how we were building community during the 2019-2020 year. We would hold circles, we do art activities, right? And people just expressing themselves, or members expressing themselves together in a shared space. And so if we're literally looking at the term or word of community, right? We have the word common, right? What are these common interests, and in many ways common differences that people share, right? And then we add it to unity, right? In terms of togetherness, right? So when we add those together, we get community, right? And as I mentioned before, how are we pivoting in our virtual programming with community is we're always doing outreach and following up with our members about what are these basic essentials that they need, right? Whether it's from toilet paper to canned goods to other supplies. How do we check in with our members, right? Through our virtual community circles and check-ins to make sure that they know that staff is there to support them during these tough times. As mentioned before, we use Google Classroom for our question of the day / week, which gives a little bit more intel and insight of getting to know the personalities of our members, and it's another way to engage with them in a fun, light exercise. Or for me, for the high school, I make them kind of like write one journal a week through our question of the week, usually asking to look inwards in terms of how are they feeling. Once again, what are goals that they have for themselves, and what are they really looking to build upon, right? And then, right, as I mentioned before, how do we recognize our youth, and how does the youth know that they are being valued? As we have our youth of the week, one of the things we've done is write letters to our teens, in particular our teen interns. Is one of the tasks, because they've written letters to us to tell us about themselves and what kind of mentoring and guidance they would want from us as staff this summer. We do a lot of group and virtual games, right, through our Google Meets to make sure that we do deal or no deal. We've been playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. There's bingo. There's riddle games. So a lot of different ways of how we're engaging with our youth in this new form of community building and learning. We also still have art, right? Our staff has dropped off art kits to our members so that they could have some supplies to do art with Kai several times a week. And even if they don't get those art kits, we're encouraging them to still look for a piece of paper, pen or pencil. And then if they need some supplies, we'll get their name and make sure that Mike, our clubhouse director, or another staff will be able to get them at the clubhouse. And then cooking, from whether I think it's elementary and middle school cooking to Fridays cooking with Winnie, our high school services coordinator, once again, who uses our Google Classroom to share recipes and ask questions of what our members would like to cook, right? Simple things that's accessible, as well as during our live virtual programming, just asking them in person using the chat box, right? So how are we being engaging and active in all these different forms of communication, right? And so that's just a general insight of what we're using or how we're applying strategies towards community building here at the clubhouse, virtually, but also it goes and is applied in person as well, right? So just want to give you thanks for your time. And so, if you have more questions for me, my information's right there. You could send me an email. Subscribe to the TL Clubhouse YouTube channel. Like all the videos, we're trying to get to 100 plus subscribers, right? If you like the video, leave a comment as well. Once again, appropriate comments, because we do screen them, right? This is a youth space, and we want to make sure it's very safe. and we will not acknowledge any rude comments, right? And also, if you are a member middle school or high school, go to Google Classroom and leave a comment for myself or Winnie as well. With that said, we just want to say thank you for supporting the Tenderloin Clubhouse and enjoy your day. Thank you.